Healy and Kyle have been friends since elementary school and grew up in a Connecticut suburb of New York City. They've been through a lot together, from sneaking into Broadway shows all the way to attending the same college. Though their lives took different paths, they remained friends. Kyle started a career on Broadway and Healy moved up to Massachusetts. As years passed, they still held on to their dream of opening a children's theater company together. And when the opportunity presented itself, what did they do? They started Break-A-Leg Theaterworks. Here's their story.
I never want to see Jimmy Smith again.
Good. Forget the boys, Dilmont. Get yourself a canary.
No canary in a cage.
Well, Healy and I we met in children's theater when I was in 4th grade and she was in 3rd grade in Norwalk, Connecticut. And so we've known each other pretty much the majority of our lives. And so I guess that's what started our love of the theater. So we've kind of had that sentiment stay with us throughout our lives of being friends.
All the way up till 12th grade.
Yeah, we've always wanted to have a theater company of our own, and so it was always a dream of ours, and we got the opportunity about a year and a couple months ago. Well, I had actually gotten an injury on the road, and I've been working on the road, and I got the injury, and then I had some time off, and I was kind of thinking also what else did I want to do with my life? What was the next chapter? And she called me one day, and she's like, we'd been throwing around this idea for years, and she told me to come up. And yeah, we had a meeting. We didn't even really we had an idea because of what we came from, but we didn't know exactly what it would come to in its fruition.
One of the things we were talking about is he knows a lot of people on Broadway and New York professionals, and we were toying between, do we start with doing a cabaret and bring up some of the professional people he knows, or do we start with classes, theater classes, or a show for kids? And then finally dawned on us that maybe we could do both and get a couple of his friends to come up and do a performance with the students. And it was great. We had our first audition for a show called A Night of Broadway, and we had 2 Broadway performers come up to perform, and we held auditions and just tried to get the word out, and we had amazing talent of kids walk through the door.
And so now we're preparing for our 4th show, which is Let's Go to the Movies, which is going to be an iconic show with songs from movies of different eras, all the way back to the Trolley Song and The Good Ship Lollipop. Going all the way up to Moana. Children learn about themselves from coming in and working in the theater. They learn that who they are is enough, and they are validated by their gifts, their own personal individual gifts, and we celebrate them for that. So what we try to do in the studio is when they come in, whatever levels they have or experiences they have in the theater is irrelevant. It's, do you have an interest, do you have a passion? And we try to celebrate that passion by celebrating their individual unique qualities and letting them know they are enough. So whether they go on to be in the boardroom, the courtroom, the basketball court, or on stage, they leave with a sense of confidence and inner purpose.
So the satisfaction that we get out of teaching this is you can identify those students. There's certain ones that Kyle always talks about, oh, I relate so much to that student because I can see her passion and her longing and how much she just loves coming here during the day. And I see that too. For me, there was another particular student that I saw who could barely get up to audition, and she could barely breathe. Recently, she just got a leading role at her school, over 60 other students and her mother came to us and talked about what a huge boost in confidence she's experienced in the last year. And that's just so validating to see what you identify with when you were younger, the passions, the obstacles, and to see those in your students and to know that I can help give that back, what we got out of it.
Wow, and Maureen, that must have been so much fun for you to do that story since you are a theater girl yourself, and boy, what a talented group.
Well, what's even funnier is when I was, setting this story up, I was like, Healy, how do I know the name? I've actually done theater with her 10 years ago at the Company Theater in Norwell. I was like, I knew I recognized that name, so it was very funny. But the show they mentioned, Let's Go to the Movies.
Right. We
just want to let the audience know that that's going to be Friday, May 19th and Sunday, May 21st.
At the Spire Center.
At the Spire Center.
Yep.
And their Broadway guest is the former Elphaba understudy who is on Broadway.
From
Broadway.
Wicked, yep.
Yeah, for Wicked. And featuring dancers from
Kingston's dance Dreamworks, who we've done stories about them in the past.
Yeah.
And the voices in those clips were pretty amazing.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. It's just great seeing young people just take hold of that passion and own it at that age. I think it's a powerful life lesson. It like helps you learn yourself, like Kyle and Healy said. You know, it's just, I love doing these stories. It's very inspiring to me, and I'm glad more people are, you know,
Involved,
selflessly
right.
giving their talents to
to
train
that.
young people.
And we hope all of the youth break a leg.